There's not that many Minecraft features that scream, "this has lore." I mean, you have the end credits, the structures, the achievement names, but overall, not that many features. The fossils, though, definitely do. I mean, they are literal fossils. Something had to be alive to make these bone shapes, but what? And how can we connect it to the whole Minecraft theory? In Minecraft, there are a lot of different types of fossils, but they really only separate into two categories: overworld fossils and nether fossils. Overworld fossils have 8 variants, 4 skulls and 4 spines, while nether fossils are just a large assortment of rib cages, which is a very interesting detail that I'll get to later. But let's start with identifying the overworld fossils for now before we get to the lore of the nether ones. Something important to point out is the names of the fossil files. Being structures, all the different fossil files have names within Minecraft. The skulls are named Skull 1, Skull 2, Skull 3, and Skull 4, while the spines are also named Spine 1, Spine 2, Spine 3, and Spine 4. This may lead you to think that Skull 1 corresponds with Spine 1 and Skull 4 corresponds with Spine 4. While this may be the truth, the skull files are named in order from largest to smallest, and the spines are labeled in order from narrowest to widest, leading me to believe there isn't a correlation with the numbers matching up, although there might be. Now let's briefly take a look at our contenders. The 4 spines are really the same thing with varying levels of width. Spine 1 is very narrow and long, Spine 2 is just as long but less narrow, Spine 3 is even wider, and Spine 4 is the widest. MakingUpWow.com has a database with real skulls of different animals across the globe. We can also search through these to see if there are any convincing matches. Granted, these are much more detailed and the connections aren't really as strong. I mean, Skull 1 vaguely looks like a polar bear skull, Skull 2 somewhat resembles a Canadian lynx, and you could argue that Skull 3 is similar to a clawless otter. But surprisingly, it's Skull 4 that has 2 really strong matches: the walrus and the mammoth. The walrus skull has a very convincing appearance with a hole in the center where its nose is and the 2 tusks on the side, just like Skull 4. Same thing with the mammoth or even elephant skulls. It also has this notable hole in the center and obviously the 2 tusks on the side. These are actually pretty good matches. All of these are pretty decent guesses as to what roamed the earth prior to the current day mobs. My theory is currently an ancestor of the sheep for Skull 1, some sort of cat or ocelot for Skull 2, some ancestor of the silverfish for Skull 3, and a mammoth or elephant for Skull 4. We can then go and pair these up with the corresponding spines, with the largest spines being fitted to the largest animals. So the mammoth would have the biggest, then the cat, then the sheep ancestor, then the silverfish ancestor. But that